Welcome back, my beautiful people, to another episode of Girl, Why You Still Single? It's your host, Dion Chalette, and I am super excited to get into this next episode entitled, I'm Not Your Superwoman. Yep, that's what it's titled this week, y'all. I am not your superwoman. Do y'all remember that song? I used to sing this song word from word. I can remember sitting in my garage back in the day with my sisters, and we used to have these little mini concerts where we would sing this song and perform to no audience because it was just us four of us. And we used to perform this song. So it took me back to that particular moment. So I just want to dig into this topic a little bit this week. So as you all know, I'm out here on this dating scene, and which means that, I'm open to accepting dates. I'm mingling a little bit, going out on dinner dates or lunch dates, talking on the phone, maybe doing a little texting from here and there. And I feel like through most conversations, you can always tell how serious someone is. And you all know, being that my fraudulent meter is super on point these days, I tend to immediately weed out the frauds very quickly. What irritates me more so than any other thing is a guy trying to play against a woman's intelligence to see how far he can go or what he can get from a woman, knowing that he has no serious intentions of pursuing her fully. So whether this is sex, money, or some guys just like to add you to their little quote unquote whole list. So what have I realized within these past few months? On a few occasions, I've had guys try to manipulate me into thinking if I did certain things or maybe if I acted in a certain way, then that makes me more likable, or somehow magically it just makes me more attractive or loyal, or what we are all familiar with is that term Ratadachi. Now, don't get me wrong, y'all. In the past, that was absolutely me. You won't catch me half-stepping these days, though. So I felt like I was lost, I was insecure, and very inexperienced. So let me repeat those three things to y'all. I was lost, I was insecure and inexperienced. And I allowed relationships to define who I was, how I moved, and what I settled for. And I realized that being a people pleaser drained me, and no matter how God showed me how amazing I was and how beautiful I was, I still looked to man for validation. Not until that validation turned into pain. I can remember the younger me trying to go out of my way to please my man, even if that meant me spending my very last, knowing I didn't have it. Calling off work to spend time with him, just being up late the night before with him, and just being too tired to go to work. I had my priorities all jacked up. I can even remember this one particular time, my freshman year in college, and my boyfriend at the time, he went to school out of state and he needed some help writing a paper. And instead of me just simply saying, okay, well, let me help you out. Let's, work together and I can maybe, assist you in writing it. What do? I volunteered to write the entire paper, which meant that, of course, I had to stay up all night, and more than likely I could have been doing my own homework. I could have been doing my own assignments, but I'm over here trying to please him and write his paper. Epic fail. So my question is, why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we feel as though we have to be extra, do extra things in order to be validated or loved by our mates? So my logic is that I've always felt the need to compete with the other woman for his attention. I was awakened to really love on myself because no one else was loving on Dion. for him to like me more, for him to realize I'm who he needs and who he wants. Now, this was not just for one particular relationship. I found this to be the common denominator in a lot of my past relationships. So what had to click in my mind for me to realize that I can't compete, bro? When I found myself broken, broke, and alone. God had to break me all the way down. And I realized no matter how hard I went to be seen, to be noticed, and to be loved, it never changed the situation, because on the other end of that stick, that other woman, she was competing just as hard to be validated and loved and liked in all of those same situations. So I had to stop and say, hey man, if you can't love me for who I am, then oh well, you're lost. I can't be giving you no money. I'm not going out of my way to buy you things or do things for you that's going to put me in a situation to stop my forward progression. And when I really learned that I had all the power, I stopped giving them sex. Now, this change of heart didn't all take place overnight. This took some serious healing and absolute growth. God had to take me out in order for me to understand that I was self-sabotaging. So there's one thing to genuinely give or do things, but when you feel as though you have to go outside of your normal to seek attention or for somebody to treat you a certain way, then babe, you're doing way too much. So my question is, what have you done in the past, or in some cases still doing to this day, in order for him or her to like you more? I want you all just to take a moment and comment below, or go to my Facebook or my Instagram and comment up under this week's post to explain what it is that you have done, or what are you still doing, or what have you realized that you're still doing to gain that extra attention from that man or from that woman. And you never know, maybe your answer will set someone else free. Well, this wraps up this episode of Girl, Why You Still Single? And until next time, let's be intentional about living in our singleness.